Okay, let's talk about getting paid. We've all been told the same story, right? To get that six-figure salary, you've got to be the best technical expert in the room. But what if that's not the whole picture? What if the real path to top-tier income isn't just about what you know, but how you operate? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the surprising skills that really separate the highest earners from, well, everyone else. You see, for years, most of us have been playing by a very specific set of rules. You know, the kind of career advice our parents gave us, the stuff that's been passed down for generations.
Yeah, you know the drill. Master your craft, put in more hours than anyone else. Wait patiently for your turn to climb the ladder. The big one is always be the technical expert, right? Be the person everyone comes to with the hard questions. And look, these things aren't bad. But what if following that traditional path is the very thing that's actually holding you back?
So let me ask you this. What if the highest earners aren't just playing the game better than you? What if they're playing a completely different game altogether, on a different field, with a playbook you've never even laid eyes on? That's exactly what we're going to dive into. And here's the fundamental shift right here. The old playbook, super simple. Technical skill plus a whole lot of hard work. The new playbook, though, it's all about leverage. It's about combining these hidden skills we're talking about with the insane power of AI to just multiply your impact. Okay, so let's get into it. Rule number one of this new playbook, it completely flips the script on what we think is valuable. It's not just about doing great work. It's about how you talk about that work. It's about communicating its value. I mean, really think about it. Who's more valuable to a company, the person who can quietly execute a command, or the person who can frame the entire problem, sell a compelling vision for the solution, and get the senior leadership totally bought in? It's not even a contest, right? This is about defining the why behind the work. And trust me, that's where the big money is hiding.
And this quote, man, it just puts a dollar amount right on it. We're not just talking about some fluffy soft skill here. The ability to speak clearly and persuasively, especially to the people who control the budget, that has a direct, measurable impact on your paycheck. We're talking the difference between a pretty good salary and a life-changing one.
All right, moving on to rule number two, which builds perfectly on this last point. You know, pretty much everyone has access to AI tools now, but the top earners, they're using them in a totally different way. They've made a crucial shift. They've stopped being the doers and have become the directors. Think of it this way. Most people treat AI like a summer intern, you know? Hey, summarize this email for me. Go write a rough draft of this thing. But the top performers? They treat AI like a high-powered executive assistant or even a strategy consultant. They're handing off complex analytical stuff, which completely frees them up to go from being a simple producer to a high-level decision maker.
And here's the magic workflow they use. Delegate the draft, own the edit. It's that simple. You let the AI do all the heavy lifting, the research, the first draft, all the stuff that gets you maybe 80% of the way there. And what does that do? It frees up you and your strategic brain to come in and provide that crucial final 20% that turns something good into something absolutely exceptional.
Okay, get ready for this next one, because it might be the most shocking rule of them all. But I promise you, it's a game changer. It all comes down to a simple truth. Your time is your most valuable asset, period. You can't make more of it.
So I want you to really chew on this question for a second. What if the key to your next big promotion, your next big raise, isn't about getting better at everything? What if it's about being strategically bad at the things that just don't matter?
Yeah, there's a name for this. It's called productive incompetence. And listen, this is not about being lazy. It's the exact opposite. It's a hardcore strategic decision to protect your focus for the big, high-impact stuff, the work that actually moves the needle for the company, and for your bank account. Look, if you're the go-to person for formatting PowerPoint slides or scheduling meetings or, heaven forbid, fixing the office printer, you are literally training your colleagues to interrupt you with low-value junk. You have to make yourself unavailable for that stuff so you can be available for the work that really, truly counts. All right, last but not least, rule number 4. Let's talk about the money. Specifically, how to get paid what you're actually worth. Because this rule, it pretty much blows up everything you've ever been taught about salary negotiations. It sounds completely backwards, right? We're always told to negotiate when we're unhappy or when we have another offer in hand. Wrong. The absolute best time to negotiate, the time you have the most power, is when you are happy, content, and absolutely crushing it in your role. Why? It's simple. You take desperation completely out of the equation. You're not begging from a place of need. You're collaborating from a position of strength, talking about a mutual investment in your continued success. I mean, look at this. This visual says everything you need to know. The difference in your leverage is it's staggering. When you negotiate out of need, you have basically no power. But when you walk into that room from a position of strength with a list of recent, undeniable wins, you control the entire conversation. So there you have it. Those are the 4 core rules of the new playbook. But just knowing the rules isn't enough, is it? You have to actually get in the game. So let's talk about your very first move. So what's the big takeaway here? It's that the game has fundamentally changed. The path to a huge salary isn't just a straight line of working harder and harder. It's about being strategic. It's about being leveraged. It's about being an architect, a storyteller, a director, not just a technician. And that brings us to the final and maybe most important question, a question for you. If you really want to start using this new playbook, it all starts with one small strategic choice. So what is it? What's the one low-value task you are going to stop doing this week? Think about it, because your next big career move might just depend on that answer.